Ever since Rey's introduction to the Star Wars universe with The Force Awakens, fans have debated her origins. Some might say she's a child of Luke Skywalker, while others claim she's the child of Ben Kenobi. These theories and more were brought to an abrupt halt when the divisive The Last Jedi was released. In the film, Rey seeks to explore her mysterious origins while trapped in the Mirror Cave on Ahch-To, yet receives no clear answers. Things are further complicated when Kylo Ren essentially tells Rey she comes from nothing, a claim that may have been false and simply an attempt to hurt her. In either event, it's interesting that Palpatine will be returning for the Rise of Skywalker, and there might be a secret connection with Rey and Jakku. The Emperor's observatory on Jakku was a secret project intended to aid in a contingency plan if Palpatine was killed. This plan, called the Contingency, was to manipulate remaining commanders, governmental representatives, and fleets of both the Empire and New Republic so they'd have a final battle on the planet Jakku. Once on the planet, Palpatine orchestrated for the planet to be destroyed, which would have cleansed the weakness of both governments, while a new empire was built by Palpatine's successors. In his eyes, this was a way of punishing both sides of the war, even in death, yet the plan didn't go off successfully, and the First Order rose from the Empire's ashes. The actual observatory itself was a subterranean bunker hidden by the sand climate of Jakku. Droids and turrets were also implemented for security defenses, and the only way to access the observatory was a hidden entrance. Inside the facility are detailed maps of the unknown regions, which includes navigational suggestions along with the data from probes sent by Palpatine. Deeper within the observatory was a borehole that would play the integral role of destroying the planets. Overall, it was a large bunker filled with Sith artifacts, research data on the unknown regions, and the means to destroy the planet if necessary. Early in the production of the character, Rey was instead named Kira, with noticeable similarities to Jaina Solo, twin sister of Jacen Solo, aka Darth Caedus, from the Legends canon, who was the daughter of Princess Leia and Han Solo. From early concept art and production notes, it was intended for Rey to be a tough loner with an affinity for engineering and piloting starships. With Rey's story, people saw certain similarities with both Anakin and Luke Skywalker's beginnings. For all three characters, they are introduced to the audience on a desert planet with ambiguous origins relating to their family. What was interesting, though, her visions of the events seemingly unrelated to a past on Jakku. This involved seeing the Knights of Ren during their attack on Luke's Jedi Academy and connection to Anakin's lightsaber. She's also said to be the light side balanced to Kylo Ren's dark side, so together they could bring balance to the Force and galaxy. This has a unique potential as Kylo Ren is also the current Supreme Commander of the First Order, while Rey is a leader within the Resistance. During The Force Awakens, Rey finds an isolated Luke Skywalker on Ahch-To. While disillusioned by past Jedi and personal failures over history, Luke still trains Rey to become a Jedi. After receiving Luke's basic training and further independent studying with the Jedi texts, Rey became the hope for a new era of Jedi by the conclusion of The Last Jedi. During the highly praised Darth Vader comic series from Marvel Comics, fans got an interesting look into the perspective of Darth Vader. Besides exploring the previously unseen adventures of the character, we received confirmation about Anakin's mysterious parentage. While he has no biological father, Anakin's birth was the result of manipulation of the Force by Palpatine. In Star Wars canon, it's well known that Palpatine studied the manipulation of midichlorians under his master Darth Plagueis. The biggest achievement of this manipulation was believed to be immortality, which beyond an extended lifespan was reached via transferring consciousness to a new body, something Palpatine did in the previous Legends canon. With how this could apply to Rey, it stands to make sense that Palpatine may have continued experiments after Anakin's birth, especially after discovering Anakin and the unfortunate injuries that limited him as Darth Vader. It's likely that Palpatine decided to make a new Anakin. He looked to replace Anakin with Luke throughout the events of Return of the Jedi, so it wouldn't be a shock that a master planner such as Palpatine would have other plans in case that didn't work out. Recent additions to the canon such as Battlefront 2 have teased Palpatine's influence and potential return before being confirmed to appear in The Rise of Skywalker. Having Palpatine influence Rey's backstory in the entire trilogy would be an interesting way to connect all 9 films and wrap up the Skywalker saga. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think this theory could make sense? Palpatine having some sort of hand in Rey's creation? Be sure to drop your thoughts down below, and for more updates on everything Star Wars and pop culture, be sure to subscribe to HN Entertainment.